drive to York took us about 3 hours. Nice roads, traffic moved pretty quickly, occasional tractor. But it was long, we got a little bored, and so Jamie started making driver training videos.
So we're at a roundabout, we're gonna take the third exit. So we are in the right-hand lane. We're gonna have our right-hand turn signal on. We look right. And we're gonna go. We're gonna keep our right-hand turn signal on. So that's exit 1, 2, and third exit.
Roundabout on
We're turning our left-hand turn signal on and we exited. Whew!
And finally, here we are. Is it cold, Jamie?
It's so cold. So cold.
Welcome to York. Today we're using a brand new guidebook. Unlike on most of our previous videos, this is the newest edition of the Rick Steves Great Britain Guidebook. Now, I selected this because we don't get to use it much because Rick focuses exclusively on kind of his top destinations. And in this book, he lists his top 4 absolute must-sees in England, and York is one of them. So what we're doing is we're following his self-guided tour of York, which starts right here at St. Mary's Abbey, which is a Norman abbey. It was destroyed by Henry VIII when he was dissolving the Catholic Church in England.
Our walk begins leaving the museum gardens, past the Multangular Tower, which was originally built by the Romans, and into Exhibition Square here. This is Booth and Bar. It's a gate for the city walls, which we climbed up and started our walk around the city on the walls. This is Dutch House, the first all-brick building in town, and architecturally fun. The walk brings us here, to York Minster, the giant cathedral and centerpiece in the town.
This is the stonemason's yard where they have been working continually to continue fixing up the church for more than 250 years.
Rick Steves has a separate guided tour of the Minster itself. We didn't really follow it, but we did pop in and look around. It is really impressive. Super huge in places and super creepy in others. This is Stonegate Street, a charming little old world street to walk down with fun little shops.
Alright, we learned a new word from Rick Steves, snickelways. It's a made-up York word meaning snicket, the passageway between walls or fences, ginnel, a narrow passageway between buildings, an alleyway, any narrow passageway, a snickelway. There's one right there, Coffee Lane, let's head down it.
Like most everywhere, Ukraine is front of mind in York.
Behind me is Waterstones. It's a chain of bookstores. They're everywhere and they are the best. Best specifically for travel books. They have a massive selection. They're all over the place. There's one in Cambridge, there's one here in York. They're all over. Just went in and did a little shopping.
After finishing the city walk, we headed outside the gates to number 8 Bistro for a delicious dinner. Our accommodations for the evening, Little Hyde.
So we've checked into our tiny little pod hotel. It's not really, I guess they call it glamping. Jamie can give us the whole grand tour. Here's the bed, there's the door, there's a little heater. That's about the full experience.
Hey Jamie, how's that coffee?
Coffee is delicious.
The next morning we headed back into York for some more pretty scenery and a visit to the York Art Gallery. Lots of interesting exhibits in the gallery. This one was called Queering the Burton, with informational placards presenting LGBT perspectives on many of the pieces. These were new to me. Ceramic art by Picasso. Interesting to see how he tackles the challenge of a circular composition. Look at how the bull ring is reflected in the bowl. Really cool. May as well taste a little gin while we're in
Also, if
town.
your friends ever do come over, you should take them
I
to
will,
the gin school.
There's a gin school.
So
After a couple of fun days, we headed home. We did make one stop on the way.
We made a spontaneous stop on our way back from York at Easton Walled Gardens. Just happened to be a place on the way. Looks like we're a little early for the spring flowers, but it's pretty cool. The top of these stairs is where the Easton Hall used to be, but it's not there anymore, but happily the gardens still are. We're touring right now to look at, I think they're snowdrop flowers, something like that. Little white flowers. Might have to come back in the spring when there's a lot more going on.